What is up, YouTube? I know it's been a while. So update, a little early in the morning. We are heading up for Sourwood. I've got 33 colonies on a trailer here behind me, and we're going to be taking them up to the yard we were at last year. So right around the corner, we should be blooming here. Most of the Sourwoods are tasseling. Should put on flowers within the week. We've had fairly dry weather leading up to it, which kind of sucks. You usually want a wet prelude and then a dry spell during the nectar flow, so keep you updated. So sun's just starting to come up. It's about 5:15. Just arrived up here. We're in the same field, setting up the same place. I went with 4 red light spotlights up on top of my truck this year, and it's kind of blurry here in the dark, but to give you an idea, man, it really makes a difference as far as, like, see how much light we've got here. We got the same on both sides. Here, I'll show you. It's one of these lights is 6 LEDs. I wired it up 12 volt DC to a battery that's there on the other side. Brought a bunch of supers with us. This year I'm running a hand truck like this. Used some 4-wheeler ramps, and everything's still cinched down. As you can even see, like, from back here, gives you all kinds of working light, you know, in a place like this where we're gonna catch the sunrise. I debated it coming up last night, but I just decided sleeping 3 hours in my own bed is better than sleeping 3 hours in the truck. So anyways, these are all two-way pallets. When I was back home loading these things up, some of these had so many bees as a single that, like, it was bubbling out down here, and I didn't want them blowing away in transit. So about, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. 15 of them were just boiling over, so I went ahead and gave them a box back home. It's a little more weighty for me to transport, like going up and down on the ramps. Actually a significant amount. Just, I mean, you wouldn't think it, but 2 deep boxes of just drawn comb, they probably weigh 15, I don't know. All my equipment's wax dip, so it's really heavy. And so you tack on, I mean, heck, I'd say 15 pounds a box. It's 30 extra pounds going up the ramp. And what I learned is I'm not the young man I remember I was. So somebody needs to go to the gym and lay off the ho-hos. Anyways, like I said, fighting daylight, guys. I'll show it to you here in just a little bit once we get all set up. So, got a little hole in my suit right here. Don't know how that happened. I have 9 pallets off the truck so far, and I have taken 16 stings already. That is with copious amounts of smoke. The bees are just super pissy this morning. And for those of you at home who think, like, oh man, it'll be really easy just to group some bees up and put them on Sourwood, like, y'all, I'm already in it, so I gotta suck it up and do it. But this is one of the not so fun days of beekeeping. Like, it happens. Nobody really tells you about that many stings, but I just got my gray pants. I probably got 100 stingers in my pants right now, but somehow they're getting up inside my my jacket on the inside, like up under the waistband. So I don't know. I don't usually have that issue. It's a brand new suit this year, but just let's see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 5, 6, 7 or 8 more pallets to get off the trailer I'm at, but just figured I'd tell you that's the not so fun side of keeping bees and moving them. Wow, that was fun. Got the bees over here. I just had to step away. They are so grumpy right now. So not a bad morning. I think I tried to count just to make sure, but it's 23 stings altogether. If you don't deal well with stings, then moving bees is not going to be for you, more than likely. Some guys, like we did last year, we just loaded them on a trailer and just come set the trailer. But this year, because we're moving so many bees up, then we need to reuse this trailer. So we're moving them with the hand truck. I just want to show you how many stings my pants have in them. Every so often, if my pants stretch tight to my legs, then I'll catch one of these stings in the leg. But you know, last night loading them, I think probably had 12 or 13 stings. I still cuss sometimes. I mean, that's the real world. But you know, overall, if you're gonna move bees, just and I have fairly calm bees, and the bees that I first moved right there at the front, they're calming down now. I'll go over there and show you here in a minute. All right, these are all stingers. All those white dots. And then I got them all in my glove here. See them all in my glove there. So I'm not kidding around when I say you got to be prepared to get stung to move colonies. I don't know anymore. It used to be a really big deal to me, and obviously like getting lit up isn't very fun, but eventually it just comes with the territory. One day I will have a hummer bee, and you know, or a skid steer or something mechanical to move. But until then, it's Ashby and Corey, and she's not with me tonight. She's sleeping. So I'm gonna walk you back over here and show you the setup of the colonies, tell you a little bit about them. So I've got to set a bear fence next, but you can see like these bees here, rather calm. To tell you a bit about these, so these 2 yards right here made a combined 29 and 25 boxes of honey, and I mean they were majority full. So these colonies have already worked themselves a fair bit this spring. It's been dearth back home for probably close to, I don't know, 3 weeks now. As soon as we get up here, see how grumpy all these are? They just came off the truck. So back down here. When I arrived last night, I had intentions of bringing up the boxes on the truck and then bringing up singles instead of doubles. But what I discovered when I arrived is like, you know, probably a 5-pound package worth of bees right down here, like hanging off the bottom. And you can see the bearding on these singles. What I didn't want to do in moving them is have all those bees fly off and lose them en route. So I went ahead back home and gave them, you know, a queen excluder and a second box, just so they, I mean, there were some powerhouses. And I guess that leads me to the next segment. So I just want to give folks at home maybe some tips and tricks, or I say tips and tricks like I got all the experience. Guys, I did this for my first year last year with 2 yards. So I've got a whole 1 year experience. It's not like I am the man when it comes to Sourwood, but I'm willing to take some risk, and I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is, and I don't know, I can bet on me. So something to talk about with Sourwood honey, it's not guaranteed. It's not like you just bring bees up and set it and forget it. The 4 guys that I know who've been chasing Sourwood for 20 plus years, they all say the same thing, so I'm gonna regurgitate their 80 combined years experience. In a 5-year period, you have 1 year where you're like, you know, you crush it. You have 1 year where you don't make anything at all. And Bob Benny said last year, you know, I think they only had 8 of 42 apiaries make any Sourwood. You have 2 years that are, you have 1 year that's, The reason being is it doesn't bloom the same elevation year to year. If you're lucky enough to find a spot that's consistent year after year, then you're rather lucky. But it doesn't work like that. So to tell you about this area here, we're at 1550 elevation. The bees last year went completely due east, downhill, and let's see, behind me, over my shoulder here, it goes up to 2,400 feet in elevation. And that's within a 1 mile radius. So if it blooms anywhere, say between 1,300 and 2,400 at this location, then the bees should make sourwood. At other locations, like our second spot from last year, so we brought 38 colonies out here, but the 38 colonies made less honey than the 16 colonies at the other location. So let's talk about the why. One, piss poor management. That was me, my fault. One thing I did not do last year, we just threw bees on a trailer and sent them up, and I didn't realize the wasted effort there. Man, that really cost me. So we brought 38 colonies here, and only maybe a third of them made like a full box of honey. And then we went to the other place, and 16 colonies that I did go through, and something happened where 2 of them didn't make hardly any honey at all. One was a complete dead out by the end, so we don't know what caused that. But overall, the second yard of 14 colonies made more than the, let's say a third of 38 is 13, than the 13 colonies did here. And that math. So a big part of this year is leading up to coming up here. I didn't want to waste all my effort and take all these stings on colonies that kind of didn't matter. So I've made sure to go through every colony, 2-3 weeks ago, and make sure that all those colonies are queen right, and they've got a lot of brood. And as soon as we get the honey off, we gave them a gallon of syrup. And if you think about like how many mouths there is to feed, we're taking what was a 3 and 4 deep colony down to a single. That's a lot of bees, and they won't all fit in the box. And that many mouths to feed can cause a starve out real fast. So that's one thing we did, was we gave them at least 1 gallon of feed, if not 2. I'll see here, if you can see right here on my shoulder, mimosa. The mimosa bloom up here is still in full swing. And last year we ended up with a lot of dark honey, kind of in the center of 2 or 3 frames. And so I suspect that's because of mimosa. I really hate giving these bees here a second box right now. I'd rather leave them as a single. So the intention is drop off all these boxes that we brought with us. And then I'm going to be up here quite a bit in the coming, 8 days to 9 days. So once we get all of our bees to this area, then I'm going to come around and add boxes on all at once we can verify that the sourwood flow starts. There's no need putting a super on them if it's going to fill it up with basswood or sumac or mimosa or anything else. I don't want all that stuff diluting our honey. In the meanwhile, it's not like they're bringing in 6 or 8 pounds a day. It's like they'll bring in a pound or 2 a day. So they can put that in the brood nest, they can use it, they can eat it, they're gonna rear brood. As soon as the queen knows there's a nectar flow, she's gonna start laying. The one negative to all this is that the sourwood flow doesn't have a big pollen flow leading up to the nectar flow. So you can send bees up on sourwood that are, look really healthy, and they work themselves to death on sourwood, and because they don't have any pollen in there, if they run out of pollen, then you can end up with colonies in worse shape bringing them home than you sent them up. So something I went through and did is just verify that they all have a frame of pollen. Once we get our sourwood honey off of the colonies up here, so that's going to be about a month from now, I'm going to give them a pollen patty then. We're going to leave them up here for maybe another week or 2. Come back up and treat them with oxalic acid a couple of times, for mites as well. But we want to send them home doing well. I verified that they've got enough pollen right now to make the brood that they need, but we don't want them to run out of pollen. Because remember, bees need 2 things. They need pollen as the protein, and they need carbohydrates, which is sugar syrup. So if you're thinking about sending bees up like this, it's not as easy as you think. There's a lot of prep work that goes into it. And then ultimately it comes down to Mother Nature. It doesn't bloom the same place. You need a wet or you need a wet, you know, early June, and then about the time sourwood hits here in July, you need it to be dry. If it rains at all, it'll mess up the petals. So that's kind of an update on sourwood. Then we go get our bare fence built. Just want to show you these mimosa blooms. The bees are already working them. There's 4 or 5 right there. All the way up. Let's see if I can zoom in for you. And just to let you know, mimosa trees just in the vicinity on here. Whole bunch over there. And it was like this last year too. So these bees are gonna get nice and fed. All right, so the sun's coming up just over behind me here. And of all the people to show up.
Yeah, I got here just in time for the work to be done.
Y'all, this is my buddy John from last year, if you watched our sourwood videos. And he's fair weather beekeeper, you know. He comes out about 7:30. Already had his cup of coffee with his pinky up, you know. So John's come out here to supervise the bare fence going up and help me out. But again, John's one of those invaluable people. This operation wouldn't have happened without him. So thanks for coming out, John. Well, how's your year been?
Good. Everything's looking good.
Tell
so
us
far.
about your bees. How's bees going?
Well, I started out a little shallow, but I'm building wax. I'm building a lot of wax. So
okay.
That's what I'm looking for this year.
How was your nectar flow up this high?
Well, everything that's built out is filled right now. Put it that way. I mean,
when are you thinking about harvesting honey?
I'm right at this point. I'm thinking, well, I'm gonna just let them, cause I don't have any supers. I'm just building hive right now.
Okay, so we got them a couple of nukes. What, a month ago? A little over?
Something like
6 weeks ago. The math's running together now, but the nukes he's saying have exploded, and then what you split them? You split?
I made a split.
Yeah.
And it's slam full brood now.
Yeah. So, well, good deal. We're gonna get back at building this fence here. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get back to building the fence. John's gonna get back to supervising.
That's right.
All right, we got our bare fence all done. John, how'd we do? You the supervisor.
You got bees everywhere, I know that.
Them bees are out and about and active today. John, appreciate you coming out to help us again.
No problem.
So we'll give you an update on this yard here in a couple of weeks. Have multiple videos coming out about it just to give you updates of what's going on. But guys, thanks for watching. I'm Ashby at Ashby Farms, back with my buddy John again. If you like today's video, I just ask that you subscribe, hit the like button. Those kind of things help us get found on the YouTube algorithm. So we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for watching.